everyone. Welcome to our
Daughter
Podcast.
Podcast.
Oh my God. I'm really excited to be here again. How are you feeling, Daddy?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Yeah, it's so much fun to be doing this with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
had a hell of a week. We have had a hell of a week because of what we posted on my TikTok account.
Oh, yeah, that went viral.
Yeah.
Guys went all
For
out
that,
with the comments.
People went all out. Many people were kind of trolling, or
Yeah.
they were kind of mean, and some people were very appreciative of what we were doing. Or on the snippet of we posted, people were happy about it. Some were mean, but we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm very excited to be here. I'm feeling so good. Yeah.
And we just want to take this moment to send our sympathies to everyone who is affected by the floods.
Yeah.
You know, you've got our love. We know now living in Kenya has become an extreme sport.
Yep.
Yeah, like, guys are marooned, guys are getting carried away, and,
Yeah,
you
we are
know-
gonna remember you guys in prayers.
yes, we're going to remember you in prayers and wish you all the best. And we also thank God for the rains as well.
Yeah. On the other side, from the episodes we've done, from our previous episodes, if you've not watched them, if you've not seen this podcast, if this is your first time seeing us, please check it out. Yeah, we got good feedback. Like yesterday, I was in school, and there's 3 girls who really hyped me up. They made me feel really good about what we are doing. They really, I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah,
They
you
were
did.
appreciative of what we are doing, and they were happy for us. So thank you so much for the positive feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, this podcast is for you. So kindly keep on commenting, keep on sharing.
Yeah.
And we just want to hear what you think about the topics we are discussing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about topics, what is our topic for today?
I think you are gonna introduce it for us. Yeah, I think you should introduce it for us.
Yeah, today we are going to discuss about, African culture and the way we express our affection,
Yeah.
especially to our daughters, that is from the dads, and how our daughters express affection towards us,
Yeah.
dads. Yeah.
So, like, for example, we'll start with us. We'll start with giving our own experiences with this culture. From our previous episode, you've seen how we have like the little culture that we have in this house. So, for example, we will start with the things we do in the house, our own cultures, to just give context. So we appreciate having meals together, mostly dinner. We like eating together. It's just good to do that. And we have open communication. We like sharing with each other how our day was, what are our plans, what are our goals. We like knowing each other's business, not too much, but yeah, we like knowing about each other. And also respect. We respect each other. It's not about me respecting my parent or my parent respecting me. It's mutual. We are respecting each other. It's not one-sided. So that's our little culture that we have. That is like our foundation.
Yeah, and this culture has actually taken us very far with the way we do our things.
Yeah.
So you find that because of the open communication, Aurelian will be out there and she'll be needing some assistance. Say sometimes, she has run out, let's say, of cash. She will not be afraid to call me up and just say, Dad, send me some cash, or call the mom and say, Mom, send me some cash. So it's a culture that brings us together and also breaks some of those barriers, which, as a parent, I feel proud when she goes out there and she is confident knowing that I have her back. you know.
Of course,
Yes, go ahead.
these cultures didn't just start from out of nowhere. I was introduced to them by him. So to just ask, where did you, like, how did you come up with these cultures that you wanted us to be having, or what influenced these actions now?
Yeah, actually, growing up, we had sort of the same culture, especially when it came to family dinners. You know, again, my sisters would cook, and then we would all sit around in a table and, you know, eat dinner together. And that kind of really shaped me because I got to know my brothers, I got to know my sisters,
Yeah.
I got to know my parents. Of course, there were still some boundaries that could not be crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I remember there is one day me and my bro. I'm the last born, of course. So me and my brother, we decided to take the liberties and go play while food is being served. You know, that is the day we did not eat our dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my sisters were like, you know what, you value your play.
More than food.
Yes, and it's past your playtime.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to sleep hungry. So such things really showed me the importance of just being able to sit together,
Yeah.
you know, catch up during dinner time, and then just share in a nice meal. So I thought I would carry forward that to my family. And other things that have actually influenced me is just the exposure I've had in life. You know, there are some things, me as your dad, I don't want, you know, to be sort of put rigid, you know, barriers, such that when you want to do something, for example, we live together. If you want to go out, and I know we've spoken about this before,
Yeah.
I don't want the rules to be so rigid such that you'll have to start escaping or hiding things from me. Because from that's when now things start, you know, really getting awry. Because I remember you told me a story of this girl, and I'm going to I'm going to unleash. The dad was dropping her to school, and the dad did not take her all the way to college. So the girl was very smart, and what she did was she needed to go hang out with a boyfriend and have some drinks. So the moment the dad dropped her somewhere along the way, she just took the next matatu
And diverted
yeah.
to where she wanted to go.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't want such things to affect you know, our relationship.
Yeah.
I know you cannot be 100% like open with me. You know, that is a bit of fun also sometimes when you do such things behind, you know, my back, and you go laugh about it. That is life. Yeah. But generally, this culture develops a secure, safe, you know, and a zone which has a lot of love, and we are friends. Yes. Nimeongea.
Umeongea jamani, umeongea sana, umetoa points.
Yeah. Yeah.
On to the next. How cultures can influence how people communicate and express affection. How our cultures now in this house, how are they influencing our communication and how we show affection to each other? So, for example, now let me tell your business out there. So when I come in, before dad leaves, he would hug mom, or they would hug and peck before they leave. And when they come back, if it's dad or mom, the first thing they'll do is hug each other, peck, and go about their business with telling each other, oh, how was your day? Oh, whatever. Even if during the day they were still telling each other and calling about their day and all that, they'll still repeat the same thing in the evening. So just seeing that from a person who was never used to hugging, it made me like start appreciating hugs, because for dad, him, it was normal. You come in, he'll want to hug you, and I'll give side hugs. So I even remember talking to mom about it. I was just like, I'm not comfortable with hugging. I don't know how to do it. So mom was like, you do that. You hug your dad. It's okay. Because even seeing my mom, she would hug the dad, she would hug the brothers. So I was like, okay, let me try this thing of hugging. And before we know it, we hug each other. It is so from our culture, from just being open, being respectful to each other. When I don't know how to express something with him, I go to mom. It has helped with how we bond, how we show affection. So the first thing from school, when mom is around or dad is around, the first thing is, oh, who is around? Hi, I'm back, blah, blah. Me telling them what happened from school. If you're my friend, sorry, I've mentioned you like 100 times at home because we are open with each other. And that's how we kind of bond. Yeah.
Yeah, and that part for, me hugging your mom and later being able to hug you, I think just taking words from your mom, your mom always says 20 seconds of her hug can relieve a lot of stress. And you've been out there, the world is tough. You've been busy, you've been bombarded with all sorts of negativity.
Yeah.
Then when you get home, at least you just need that 20 seconds of love, and then it makes you feel like, oh, now I can start afresh. You feel revitalized. But if we keep it so like there's no moment where the affection is being given freely, it's always, there are these cultural barriers. Therefore, just being able to give you a hug, that breaks down all the negativity that you got during the day.
Yeah.
And then you can be able to, start afresh, although it's in the evening, and feel revitalized. Again, with our cultures out there, especially the African cultures, dads are not supposed to be, hugging their daughters, again, with hands around them and stuff like that. And we've seen this like even on social media, where I remember there was this time our president was pictured hugging.
Speaking of your president, people said Mother looks like Charlene Ruto, surely.
Oh my
really?
goodness.
Really, like... I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anywho, like, why are you comparing a beautiful lady to a man?
A handsome man for that.
That's disrespectful, yo. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So the president was actually pictured hugging the daughter, and I think his hands were just drooping straight, and the daughter was hugging him tight, during her graduation. And she was obviously very happy because that's how the culture dictates the hug. And maybe they've been hugging like that. The dad never puts
their hands around her or something.
Yeah. And, guys are busy bashing him on social media. Come on, how can you hug your daughter like that? So we need to appreciate our cultures and get to know this is the way we were brought up.
Yeah.
Like if you find that there always has to be a distance between you and your daughter because of some reasons, then appreciate that and make the other person also understand that, this is how I was brought up.
Yeah.
In our family, by the way, we never even say, I love you.
Yeah.
We are gangster like that. But,
they have their own other ways of showing their either sibling or parent that I love you, but they don't have to necessarily say I love you. So people have different ways of expressing affection. For us, we will say I love you. I'll tell my dad I love you. Before that, it used to be very weird. Like you're supposed to know I love you. You're my dad. I love you, of course. I don't have to say it. So people have different ways of really showing affection. some they don't have to say I love you. You'll just know by the huyu amenipikia leo. Yeah, they do love me. And
Yep.
today they've just decided to show me affection.
Yep.
And from social media, thank God to TikTok, we've seen how people do things out here. With this globalization, it has opened our eyes. There are people who they hug, not people, daughters who hug their dad tightly. They kiss their dad on the lips. They kiss on the cheek. To me, that's where I draw the line. But people do it, and we just appreciate their cultures, because all these cultures is like a bowl of spice. They just spice up life. They make things interesting. So seeing people how they express their love to their kids, how dads express their love to their daughters. Of course, with our own cultures, we might hate on them, but sometimes it's not good to hate. Just appreciate people's cultures. Do your own things. If you want to borrow something from that culture, well and good. If you feel like where you are, if the way you show love to your parent or love to your daughter is buying her something nice, or just sending her money, or calling to check up, that's still fine. We just have to respect people's cultures, really.
Exactly. You know, and some of the cultures that I believe some of us always borrow from each other. For example, right now in Kenya, when there's a traditional wedding, most of the times you will hear, even if you're a Luo or a Kamba, we will just be saying we are going for a Rurasho.
Yeah.
And that is a really nice thing to do.
And many cultures are now wearing brown,
Yes.
while before it was just Kikuyus doing brown.
Yes.
So we borrow cultures. If you feel like that culture in Akubamba, roll nayo. If you feel like, this one is too much. Like for us, when I see daughters hugging, kissing their dad, or not kissing, pecking their dad, I'm just like, I'm not doing that, please. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I draw the line for me. But if you feel like, that's a nice way of doing it, then well
Go
and
for
good.
it.
You go for it.
Yeah.
You were telling me earlier about Burale. I think you're the one to tell me again. So what happened?
Yeah, like there's this time I think Burale was also, posted a photo on Facebook, and he was hugging the daughter, I think, a bit too tightly, and everybody went hard on him, what are you trying to show your daughter? And I'm like, that is his daughter.
Funny thing is, there are some people who are saying, oh, you're hugging your daughter a bit too tight. They are gonna go tell the other person, nah, you hug your daughter nicely, please. Why are you hugging like this? Why are you bringing the sideways one? Why are you...
Yeah, it was actually a bit counter sort of productive, because they say the same towards the president. Like, you're not hugging your daughter too tightly.
Yeah.
Then they come and attack Borale for doing the same.
Yeah.
So you're just like, that's double standards. Therefore, we need to appreciate each other and understand that we are living in a world where there is a lot of stress, and simple things like just tapping your daughter on the shoulder and telling her, look, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be well. Hugging, even if it's that side hug, it's fine.
Still fine.
Yeah,
Do you.
Yeah, but let then be no so much restrictions such that you cannot even relax some of those cultural expectations just to make sure that you can make your daughter feel better, or sometimes even as dads, I know we don't want to be seen to be vulnerable and weak.
Yeah.
But sometimes our daughters will just look at us and they'll be like, hey, Dad, you're looking a little, in a not a very good mood today. Let me just hug you and lift your spirits. So it's about just being able to weigh the options and looking at the situations and seeing what works better at that moment.
And we can't keep on saying that the world is changing. The world has already changed, really.
Yes.
So I posted a snippet of me complaining to my dad that, oh, you never look at me when we are speaking. Of course, if you've seen this episode again, you've seen he doesn't look at me when he's speaking. He's working on it, but it's okay. So I posted that snippet on my TikTok, and someone was saying, in our culture, it's bad. You don't need to look. Not you don't need. You should not look at your dad in the eyes. I'm just like, okay, that's really interesting. I would want to know more about it. It's very interesting because for me it will just be like, why will I not look at my dad in the face?
Yeah, because I think most of some of our cultures here, like you've seen the Maasais, when a lady approaches a man who is probably a little bit older, they will bow a little and they will be greeted, by touching their forehead.
Yeah.
That way, that's a nice thing to do. But I believe when it comes to now the daughters talking to their dads, it's important for the eyes to meet. At least that way you can even be able to read your daughter properly and see, wow, is she in agony? Is she happy? Because a lot of these emotions lie in the eyes. So if you want to talk to your daughter while she's looking down or she's looking sideways, or I don't know.
Maybe they have their own ways of creating that bond,
Okay.
but it's still okay. We respect your culture and we've chosen our own because right now the world has changed. We have liberty to do whatever we want. For example, how we are raised by our dads, they dictate so much about the future, how we'll carry ourselves. You'll have to be a really strong woman to start your own ways of doing things. For example, if you are never shown love with your dad, or your dad knew those ones who they'll tell a woman, by the ungekuwa hapa ningekukanyaga, then you'll be a strong woman to stand on your own and be like, yep, even if my dad used to say this, even if because of this culture my dad used to talk like this, no, I'm leaving this behind and I'm starting a new life. That takes a lot. But also we appreciate those dads who now they won't come telling us, by then takukanyaga, or by the my daughter can't talk to me like this, or my daughter should talk to me like this. You see, we learn every day. Sometimes I think I've done a great job right now. In last episode, I was saying, you've been complaining that sometimes I talk to you badly. And it's because, in my defense, I felt like since we are used to each other, I can just say things without thinking. But it's learning moments. I'm learning how to think a bit before I talk to my dad. Yeah, we are friends. Yeah, we are open with each other, but I also need to respect. So, like today in the morning, you're just telling me, it's been a while since I yapped badly. So I appreciate that. But if it's strict that my daughter can't talk to me like this, my daughter can't do this, how are we gonna learn?
Yeah, and at the same time, we are now at a point where women are being given leadership positions.
Yep.
And sometimes just being able to be assertive, it takes a lot for a lady to just be assertive. Because I can give you an example from one of the chats I saw, like in our community forums around where we live. And there's this man who was just saying, there's this lady who was just expressing herself very, assertively. And this man is like, where I'm from, women don't talk like that. You should shut up. Yeah. So things like those, or rather, such cultural elements need to be looked at very closely so that you don't end up damaging the person you're supposed to be building. And that's the same thing I do now. When I'm telling you, you're being a little bit off here when you talk to me like that, I will not tell you in a way that is going to damage you. I will tell you in a way that is going to build you so that, when you go out there, if I use this kind of words in this kind of context, in this tone, they can be misconstrued.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yet we are, like you said, we are living in a globalized world where right now I just need to be on social media to know how probably the Chinese culture, the Asian culture is,
How they do their thing.
how they do their things. If you just look at our neighbors here in Uganda, the way women are trained. I remember, by the way, you remember we got a house girl
Yeah.
from Uganda at some
Yeah.
point, and it felt so awkward every time she was saying hi to me. She had to,
Yeah, she used to kneel even with me as well when she's saying hi.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, please don't do that, because for us, we are not used to that.
Yes.
But for them, if that's how you respect each other, it's well and good. But also, we have to talk about women empowerment.
Yeah.
How are you empowering that daughter you're raising? Because if you say in our culture, women don't speak like this, then this daughter you're raising or this person you're raising in your culture that you feel is the best, how do you want them to cope with now this changed world? When you're taking them to school, you're not expecting them to get leadership positions in school or in the place of work. How are they going to talk to the men if you've already trained this person that you can't talk to men like this? They will be eaten alive in the offices. How will
Yes.
that happen?
Yeah.
Will you be happy for your daughter to come tell you, by the way, I didn't get this position because I couldn't talk like this, because I couldn't defend myself? So cultures are good. We need to appreciate cultures. But where do we draw the line?
Exactly.
How do we empower these women, really?
Exactly.
I'm
So,
smart.
you're very
Let's give
smart.
an animal.
My friend. you're killing it. At the
Points
end.
after points after points.
Governor Aurelian.
No, ambassador.
Ambassador Aurelian.
We are coming to the end of this conversation. And do you have a conclusion, recommendation, or anything you want to add?
Oh, mine is very simple. I want to ask all the dads out there, how do you relate with your daughter? What information are you feeding your daughter such that when she goes out there, she feels like you've got her back, And also, I don't want to leave the moms as well, because there are some moms who come from some of these cultures. We feel like some of the traits are toxic.
Yeah.
And they're still carrying on those traits.
Toxic, yeah.
Yeah, toxic
Traits.
Traits.
With their daughters.
Yeah. So what are you doing to make sure that you remove, the toxic parts of the culture and just pick the positive parts and be able to build your daughter? Because right now, we need to expose our daughters to practically all the cultures in the world. And that way they can be able to choose wisely.
Yeah.
I come from a point where, for example, I have friends who are Christians and they are married to Muslim girls, So what will happen, for example, if you have a daughter and then they are Christian and they fall in love with a Muslim young man, are you going to say this,
This is not our culture.
Yeah, this is
not how we do our things.
Yeah, this is not allowed. I'll give you an example of like me when I was just getting married. My father-in-law was very lenient to relax some of those cultural requirements for our traditional wedding, because to be honest, if he didn't do that, the only box I had ticked over there was an eligible young man to be married, but all the other boxes I couldn't. Yeah, so are we dads out there who are going to carry on with some of the practices which generally are going to damage our daughters instead of building them?
Yeah.
That is my challenge to you out there, dads, and also to daughters. Please listen to your dads, follow what they say, be a responsible daughter. Also, try as hard as you can, because we know these things for a fact. Daughters fight a lot with their moms. Kindly do not fight with your moms, but always do what we do in our family. Start a new, way of communication, open communication. Have a small parliament like we normally do.
Yeah.
We have a little parliament where we discuss these things.
Yeah.
And have those tough conversations with your daughters and
Yeah.
with your
Mothers.
mothers and your dads. And out of it, something good definitely, will be born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can never finish this talk on culture. I'm hoping in future we'll bring men and daughters from different cultures so that they can explain to us how do they do their things with their culture. How does it affect or dictate their communication and how they show affection to their children, not just necessarily daughters, but even in the family? How does this culture dictate how they do their things? Because we can only talk from our perspective and how we view people's culture. We appreciate everyone's culture. So for us, we will criticize, we will say how they need to do their things, but as long as you're okay with how you're doing it, as long as your culture fits you, do you. Yeah, and also with women, let's empower each other, and with dads, show us the ways kidogo. And I think they should be a bit lenient
Yep.
with the daughters.
Yeah.
The people from posting our episodes, their feedbacks I got, and there are some girls who are saying, I wish I could sit down with my dad like that. It means this daughter you're raising, they really want to sit with you. They want to have a conversation. But because of these cultures, because of how we were raised, because we do not want to learn new things, we leave these daughters yearning for affection from our dads, because if we can't just sit like in a simple setting like this, then what more are we missing from just this? So let's be a bit friendly with each other, because we can't be just yearning for your affection and you're still there. It will be different if you're not there, but you're there and we still feel like you're absent. I don't think that's really cool. So yeah, we need to come together, work this out. Let's talk, even if it's just asking your daughter, how are you feeling, and all that. We all start from somewhere. And also we need to respect our cultures, because we can't just allow to be brainwashed. We need to keep passing the good cultures, because I'm very sure not all cultures are bad.
Of course, yes.
We have the good cultures that we need to keep on carrying along from generation to generation.
Yep.
So cultures are good, but sometimes we need to know where we draw the lines. We need to have a relationship with our daughters. We need to be open with our daughters to just expose them to these world things. So yeah. I think closing remarks. Thank you so much for watching our podcast. We love you so much. We appreciate you. We really, 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 really appreciate you. We really, really, really love you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, we've received really nice comments from you guys.
Yeah.
So keep doing that, and let's grow this podcast to be huge, like
This
we
will
always say.
Not will be. This is the biggest podcast in KE.
Yes, discussing daddy-daughter issues, and
Yeah.
we are confronting these issues unapologetically. So join us, let's do it.
You go out there and check if there's any daddy-daughter podcast, nothing, or daddy-daughter conversations, nothing. So please come here, let's have a conversation, let's chat. If you feel like what we are doing is wrong, please tell us where you think we are going wrong and where we need to rectify. Leave your opinion. Yeah, we have put ourselves out there.
Yes.
So it's okay. Whether the comment is negative or positive, you leave everything there.
That is all from us. Like we always say, we are here to love, learn, and laugh.
Yup. Yeah, so thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and share, and share.
Yep.
Yeah. Till the next one.
Bye.
Bye.